This is NDTV, and you're watching Classics.
Hello and welcome to Walk the Talk. I am Shekhar Gupta in front of one of the great landmarks of Indian cinema, RK Studio, and my guest this week is who else but the inheritor of the great Kapoor legacy, Rishi Kapoor.
Hi, Shekhar.
Great star from the days of our youth. All of us wanted to be Rishi Kapoor.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show. And we are just about to enter the studio which has been made by my father.
Right.
And then we're trying to do whatever best we can do.
But you know, I've been researching on you, and I noticed it's perhaps your first ever TV interview. I know.
I generally don't really like to.
Your fame precedes TV, I know.
No, it's not that really. I'd rather not talk much about me, rather let my work talk for me. But I'm happy to do with you. I'm happy to talk to you on this day today. I can share my thoughts with you, my views with you.
But for a Kapoor to be shy is not sort of.
Well, it's
the
not
expected
shy.
thing.
It's just that I didn't see any reason why I should be really in front of the camera as such.
Right. Except the big one.
Well, that's my bread and butter.
Right. But I believe you more or less still live out of the studio now.
Well, yes, I'm at this age also. I'm lucky to land some work for myself. I like to work. It's my passion. And that's it.
But Rishi, tell us more about yourself. Tell us of your initiation into cinema. We know that you acted in Mera Naam Joker.
अब आप देख लीजिए, let's put it this way, these walls which we are walking within, this is the RK Studios which we all know of. I, for one, started my career when I was just about 2 years of age in a film called Shri 420. As a baby, we walked in the rain in that song, Pyar Hua, Ikrar Hua.
Right.
It's a very famous song. And then thereafter, again, when I was a teenager, not even teenager, all right. I did Mera Naam Joker.
You were the eternal teenager.
Well, did Joker we shot here in these studios, then after Bobby, and then after Bobby, so many of the films. These are the walls which stand testimony to time that, we've been working here.
You got the best child actor that year when you were 16.
Yes, you're right.
They
I did.
redefined the...
Well, you're not a
Well,
child actor when
yes.
you're 16 or 18,
Right,
but nonetheless, yes, they did give me that award.
I think you were the envy of all 16-year-olds.
Well, yes, that film was on adolescence,
Right.
my part of Mera Naam Joker, which was well received. And funnily, when the film didn't do very well, my father was inspired by that chapter number 1, which had Simi and myself in the film, and he was inspired to make a real love story, a teenage love story,
Right.
and that is how Bobby was born.
I see.
Bobby was born with the inspiration of chapter 1 of Joker. So, like I said, Bobby was made with a lot of love. We had some great music. We had a great actress in Dimple.
And a lot of new talent.
Yes, we had Shailendra Singh as singers. Chanchal
Chanchal.
Saab was there. And Lakshmikant Pyalal were new for us, for the RK banner.
Right.
And Bakshi Saab was also, at that point of time, never worked with us. So, the whole camp was very different.
Right. And your father really wanted to do it with new actors.
You see, at that point of time when Joker didn't do well, the fact is...
But he could have had Dharmendra acting as a teenager.
Any actor wanted to work with Raj Kapoor as a director.
Right.
But I guess Raj Kapoor's ego was hurt somewhere down, or maybe, he was not really very comfortable working with big stars after a failure in Joker. So he took up the mantle by casting newcomers. A newcomer in Rishi Kapoor, a newcomer in Dimple, and made Bobby. I mean, he was just inspired by the chapter 1, and then, Bobby was a great success, and we had a lot of problems. The studio was mortgaged. We had a lot of problems after Joker. But Raj Kapoor did not lose heart. He did not lose heart, and he made a film which was to be that called Bobby.
So tell us a little bit about how did he draft you?
Well, draft me. Well, I was.
For Bobby.
I must tell you a different story. When Joker was being casted and they needed my father's junior to play in the film, my father asked my mother whether I was available to play because I was in school.
Right.
And when you're in school, you can't be disturbed. So I was sitting around there, and when my father asked
In
my
your
mother,
home?
in my home, yes, my father asked my mother whether I could, take Chintu. Chintu's my pet name.
Right, right.
So I was so thrilled, I ran into my room, and the first thing I did was started, practicing my autograph, Still have these memories.
Well, I mean,
and
that's stardom is written in your DNA.
well, so then, like I said, I was an actor by default. It was not like I was being launched,
Right.
or Raj Kapoor was making a film to launch Rishi Kapoor.
Right, right.
It was nothing. Raj Kapoor he was an inspired filmmaker. He wanted to make a film, and by luck or by chance, I fitted the bill. That is how he took me.
Your father had a big ego too.
Well, all filmmakers have great egos, and he proved himself time and again that he was a great filmmaker. And not that he's my father, but for a fact remains that he made some very good films.
Great romantic too.
Well, romance is very inherent part of Raj Kapoor. Music and romance was part of Raj Kapoor's, way of making films, saying, things in his films. Language which was not understood in, countries like Russia, China.
Right.
He still made a mark with his music, with his romance. So I guess he knew a language which was understood. A language
Well,
which
I
understood against all barriers.
I can tell you a story. I went to cover the Tiananmen Square massacre in
Yep.
Beijing.
Okay.
And it was illegal to send stories out of there. And at the hotel business center, the hotel staff merrily sent our faxes
You
to
okay?
Delhi of our stories. All we had to do, my photographer colleague and I, was to non-stop hum Avara Hoon to
My
them.
God, really, this is something.
It
This is
just,
something.
it just went on till late into
Yes,
the night.
I have, innumerable amount of stories told by my friends who have, had these visits, not only in Russia and China, but, the Turkey, and you name it, the Arab world.
Right, all over Central Asia.
Yes, Raj
But
Kapoor
he was a great romantic in personal life too.
Well, yes, I guess so.
Did you get any impact of that in the family? Was that a cause for tension?
No, well, not really. We were, I guess, too young, at that
Your
point of
mom was a
time.
tough cookie as well.
Well, yes, absolute tough cookie. And when you tied by these things over the time, you don't really, ponder on this. At the end of it, you realize what kind of, work you have done, what kind of, impact you've made in life.
But is it true that he was in love with every heroine he worked with?
Well, let me put it this way. He was in love with that character which he was making, the film that he was making. He was so passionate about his films. He was passionate about his music, his work, his actresses. That was not because of what he was trying to, put across.
Was it ever a cause of tension in the household?
Well, not that I remember, but I'm sure they must have been. We were too young then. But I guess, this happens, in any filmmaker's life, any creative man's life. It can happen.
It happened in your life?
Well, not as yet. I don't think so.
We'll figure out when other people start writing autobiographies at some point. So you read Vajanti Mala's.
Yes, I very much did.
I mean, she claims that your father actually cooked up a story of romance between her and him.
That is very unfortunate.
To make
Shekhar,
Sangam work, yeah.
Yeah, Shekhar, that's very unfortunate. It's not of me to be, getting into a controversy, and it's not me to even, talk anything against my senior or lady. But it's very unfortunate that at a point in life, there is someone who's pointing fingers at a man called Raj Kapoor. I mean, I feel his integrity at stake. I mean, what the hell? Something is part of history, it's part of history, you can't deny it. I mean, at this age, you either have a lapse of memory or you're hallucinating or what. You're just believing that there was nothing to it. I mean, I feel bad about the fact that my father is being blamed for conniving and doing something which he didn't do. And this is an apology which one owes to the people who know of Raj Kapoor. Raj Kapoor, well, if you had something which is part of history, you can't deny it.
Right. So you are setting the record straight. There was something.
Of course there was something. But because I bore the brunt as a kid.